Hello and welcome. My name is Miss Math with Hype Math, and today I am excited to announce a new digital book. It is for fourth graders. It is our multiplication and division 1 and 2-step problems digital notebook. Let's dive in. Of course, all of our digital books start with a cover page where students can put in their name, and also on the right hand side to be able to see our handy dandy multiplication table so that students can practice their multiplication facts, because we know practice makes better. We have an overview of our multiplication and division. Now, this is really more focused on our 1-step and 2-step problems, also the input-output table, but definitely wanting to give students information and details and activities for them to practice their multiplication and division before they dive into the word problems. So we have an anchor chart. Also, the overview shows some of the multiplication strategies that students can use. After that, we have notes just going and diving deeper into multiple digit by 1-digit multiplication. You see we have our standard method, box method, expanded partial products, and also the distributive method. Again, the reason for having and showing all of these different ways is just for students to see which one clicks for them, which one they better understand when multiplying numbers. We also have our multi-digit multiplication, and if you notice, we've also introduced, other than the other methods we talked about on the previous page, we have lattice multiplication. Again, giving students different ways they can multiply. And if you notice, it's the same multiplication. So on the left hand side is 43 times 27. And if you notice, for each method, it's still 43 times 27, just so that students can see the different ways of multiplying no matter what the numbers are. Here is a multiplication activity. Of course, we want to make it fun and engaging. How do you count cows? We have our practice. On the left-hand side, always we'll have a guided practice whenever we're having students to work out different type of math concepts. And then on the right hand side is the independent practice. And if you notice, the same type of multiplication where it's 2-digit by 1-digit, and then multi-digit multiplication for this one. And it's just in case students can't remember how to do a concept or how to write or solve a concept, they can look at the guided practice just for familiarity and to understand what they need to do. Here we have a mystery picture. What the students have to do is solve the different multiplication facts so that they can see what that mystery pick is. And it is a cutie. We have our division overview, same thing, going over, having our anchor chart and also going over different division strategies. Ways to divide, here is partial quotient. And also we have our box method as well. Here is a practice of using the box method. Of course, on the left-hand side is the guided practice for the fourth graders. And then on the right-hand side is the independent practice, just so that they can, again, get that solid foundation with multiplication and division. Here we have our strip diagram. Again, having a fun and engaging way for kids to practice. Now we're diving into our input-output tables, and we have an overview and the different ways to solve an input-output table or function strategy. We have our notes and the different ways that students may see how to solve or what an input-output table looks like. More notes. Here on the left-hand side, you see it's how students need to solve when a rule is given, and on the right-hand side, how they need to find the rule. We have our guided practice on the left-hand side and an independent practice on the right-hand side. Now, there is a parent-teacher copy as well. So for all of the different practices and activities that the students have, there is an answer key for the parent that is separately. But it comes together. So once you purchase the book, maybe I wasn't very clear. Once you purchase the digital book, it comes with the parent-teacher copy and the student copy as well. Here is our knowledge check. And what the knowledge checks, if you're in Texas, it's the star release questions so that students can get that good practice for their state assessment. And even if you're not in Texas, just being able to have students read and understand how to solve what's considered a not a challenging problem, a problem where they have to go through a process, not it's just plain, okay, just compute this. They have to comprehend what they're being asked and also what they need to do to solve it. Here's some more knowledge checks. Now we have our word problem overview. Here it shows how to solve a problem, also the cube strategy for students. Here are different strategies. On the left-hand side, you notice it's multiplication strategy. And then on the right-hand side, it's a division strategy using strip diagrams and also equations. Here again are some notes, and on the left-hand side, there's a walkthrough on the right-hand side as well. Now, if you notice that on the left-hand side, it's a one-step word problem using the strip diagram, and then on the right-hand side, it's a two-step word problem. Same thing for equations. Here is an equation activity just so that students can practice how to solve equations using multiplication and division. And it is drag and drop, so students are able to drag the squares and drop it on the correct hook. Here we have notes walking through a word problem using the cube strategy. Here's another one. Here's another problem as well. The first one, it was 2-digit by 1-digit, but this is a multi-digit multiplication problem. Here is a practice. Of course, on the left-hand side, there's a guided practice, and on the right-hand side, there is a independent practice. Same type of problem. All they have to do is pretty much change the numbers, but again, it's guiding them. Even though it's independent on the left-hand side, it helps to guide the student just in case they may not remember what to do. Here is another guided practice, my apologies, using the box method to solve the problem. Here is our one-step knowledge checks. And again, these are questions that are from their star release test questions. And I did put a lot just to make sure that students get that good practice so that they can have a solid foundation. Now we're moving into our two-step problem solving. Here we have our guided practice on the left-hand side and our independent practice on the right-hand side. The bread slices are draggable, and it's just a way, again, for students to have a manipulative so that as they're solving the problem, they can actually see it and also process what they need to do. Here is solving with the strip diagram using the two-step problem as well. And yes, we have our handy dandy two-step problem knowledge checks as well. Not as many as the one-step problem, but wanting to make sure that students get that good practice for one-step word problems, also two-step word problems. And that is it. I am Miss Math, and this is the product release of our 4th grade multiplication and division 1- and 2-step problem digital notebook. Please remember to subscribe, like, and comment Talk to you later.